What's something that never fails to make you cringe?
KN777 says thinking about things I said to people in the past.
Fraser LFC says when I hear my own voice back in a recording.
Dom94 says my pictures from middle school when I was an edgy scene kid in a Christian suburban private school.
Dave says people clacking their teeth on metal forks spoons, and that shing sound. Gripes.
London Fog Addict 91 says family vloggers. Especially when the kids are obviously not into it.
Premium Recycling Bean says watching someone flirt with a person in customer service. They are being paid to be nice to you, that's it. Leave the poor retail person alone.
Scrappy Leroux says seeing somebody else get an injection. It's about the only thing in a movie that I look away from.
Hero Gamer 555 says this video. https://youtub.b/0f_ec37pxnq watch at your own peril. SMOKINJOE056 says Facebook memories from 10 years ago when I went through a breakup with my high school sweetheart. Every year when they come up the cringe gets worse.
Fresh Cucumbers says people editing their comments when they are rewarded.
Mr. Dumb replies, clapping hands.
Rifey17 says bros trying really hard to be alpha in public.
Nandy Ol says hitting caps lock instead of shift when typing.
Negradamu5 says obligatory, thank you for your service.
Game Frame says kids that constantly scream into their mic while playing literally any game online. The mic quality almost always sucks. And the high-pitched tone just makes my skin crawl.
Cinnamon Bobka says white suburban adolescents that talk like they're straight.
Eric12 says those hyped-up macho guys who get in your face and almost kiss you when they think you've disrespected them.
Burton's protege says stop ripping IVs off of your arms in movies and TV shows. Please.
MR Bunny Shaz says adults doing Fortnite dances. Pretty cringy alright.
AJ32190 says looking back at my decisions attitudes during my high school years.
Silentium00 says when someone comes up with a giant billboard that says you want to be my girlfriend exposing the victim in public.
XXWildeB3ASTXX says people who eat ice cream with their teeth.
Victorium200 says the crunch sound when stepping on a bug bath.
Pharaoh himself says public marriage proposals. I'm not just talking about the ones that end in rejection, although they do turn the cringe up to 9,999. Even if you were 100% sure it was going to be accepted, I don't understand why you would want a crowd for such an intimate thing.
Planeswalker first says my aunt using the phrases that's not very cash money of you that's very meme and the best one I just yeeted that into the trash I have her for art and every time she says those, or a plethora more she says all the time. I want to blow my brains out with a blank shell in a shotgun edit. Yeeted was tweeted. Damn autocorrect.
Nerinox says award speech edits.
Dillydino says watching some customer treat a worker in the service industry like shit, being in a restroom and seeing someone leave the stall after shitting and not wash their hands if I remember correctly. Dante Alighieri had a special layer in hell for these people, but I'm not sure if it made the final cut for the Inferno.
Highwayman says furries. I'm sure they are nice people but ish.
Stimlord says social media, and teens with edgy captions.
Sharing Panini says guys who wear sag pants below their ass, especially when they have jeans and a belt.
Jolex says me thinking back to one time I did a Fortnite dance on a podium in front of half the school.
Insidima10 says when I see companies using outdated memes to be cool and relatable with the kids.
Katikatznor says a few of the people I slept with in my 20s.
Alex Yada says kid channels on YouTube. I cringe even more when I see kids in public watching them on their parents' phone.
Boxku says people who say bro or bra at the end of every sentence. Yasha999 says watching Scott's Tots has to be up there.
Twinblade 713 says chewing foil.
Spaceship Sunrise says corporate training videos and buzzwords.
THOT safe for work says Picho. Don't get me wrong, I love IT. But the foot in mouth syndrome, persevering face. Usidor says Tyrion Lannister's scenes in God Now, and really for the past 3 seasons. You were my dwarven bro. The one character in the history of literature I could deeply relate to, in ways that even scared me at times. No, you're shallow. You were the only one who didn't treat me like a monster. Sad face. DS is so cheap and badly done. I feel embarrassed that this character is constantly associated with me. I'll go back to the books. Or the station agent. Either one. As a dwarf, I was so drawn to his character in the first place, because his story was so much more than just a cut and dry sob story about being seen as a freak. It subverted that and examined it intelligently. Now he's like a caricature of that kind of story. Yet another tragic, poor me story that has stripped away any depth. I now often leave the room when his scenes are on. They make me cringe so much.
Cubs10817444 says using religion in political debate. I'm pretty religious myself, Catholic, and I'm highly, almost annoyingly political. But the fact is, this country, USA, does not have a state religion, and there are hundreds, if not thousands of faiths represented in our lawmaking bodies across the country. America was founded on Judeo-Christian values such as respect for persons and loving thy neighbor, not Judeo-Christianity. So if you're arguing a political point, it better be backed by either science, logic or reason. For example, and I understand he's a very controversial person, Ben Shapiro, a devout Jew, makes it a very distinct point to never use the Bible Torah in any arguments unless specifically asked to, especially with gay marriage and abortion. Like or hate the tiny man and his political beliefs, that's at least respectable. Because if you can't make your argument without connecting it to your personal faith that not many share with you, it's not an argument. Sorry that got ran. Why? I cringe every time someone, left or right, brings up the Bible in a policy argument.
Bumping Wet Glam 77 says as videos.
Altuigo says pronouncing something wrong. Sawyer 1337 says people that aren't co-workers or managers telling me how to do my job.
Sink or Swim 94 says when people chew loud and smack their lips while doing it.
Kiwichik 286 says those YouTube videos, I don't know, I'm old, of high school kids asking out their prom dates in outlandish and very public ways. Ugh.
IDK what name to put says when my lil bro and his friends Fortnite dance. The stall says fat parents with fat children.
Godluster says me, at a checkout counter.
Maverick Hunter V says the in-betweeners makes me really uncomfortable and cringy sometimes, which is the whole point I think and why I like it.
Psycho Beaver says my sister.
McBusted 2013 says I'm a mom and every time I go out with my youngest to a soft play or a cafe etc., I am surrounded by other parents just sitting staring at their phone. Like come on guys, I'm sure 30 minutes away from whatever you're doing, probably Facebook etc. Won't do you any harm.
Spookatoon says B. Used a name says people eating ice blocks with their teeth. I think it's abnormal.
Teach me the Bahuman says the word lover.
My sweetest friend says when someone is giving a speech and they ask how's everybody doing and then immediately oh that's not loud enough. I said how's everybody doing? Nauseated face. Please stop.
Millerza says people taking picture of their Starbucks cup.
Luciferane Fedival says watching videos of myself from 5 years ago.
Danger Islander says professional hip-hop dancers who dance hard out on the dance floor in a club. It's like calm down. This ain't you got served, unamused face.
Zachalis27 says using Greek letters and pronouncing them 100% wrong.
Dead19 says scrolling down a Reddit subforum only to find your idea already written.
Run Fast Eat Ass says the immigrants are taking our jobs. If a Paki didn't take these jobs, I'd be a doctor. No, if that Paki wasn't a doctor, you'd still be a drain on society.
100 Blossoms says in dramas when someone wakes up with an IV drip in, but there's some emergency going on and they rip that shit out. FFS, I've had drips in me before and the catheter is just one fucking huge needle. You would bleed a shitin if it wasn't just a fake plastic tube taped to you. Even when nurses take it out properly, there's still a ton of blood. Cringe BC. I'm imagining the pain and also BC it's completely unrealistic.
Thedford says Snapchat filters.